guys, how's it going? Happy Tamus. I know I just did that. I also want to point out one thing. My screen cracked on my phone. So, hold on. I'm going to show you guys for a fact because it's really dark. There we go. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, that Inception though. My screen is all sorts of cracked and stuff. So if there's any like silver line on one side of the screen, now you know why. It is raining and it is glorious because it hasn't rained in a while, and this is the first time I've like extendedly worn my coat in a while. I just got done recording a video, literally, like 5 minutes ago, and I am editing it, you can tell, because I am wearing the same shirt. Size matters not. Yoda. Cat! What the? I didn't lean back so you could jump on my lap. The point is that my shirt says, size matters not, and it has Yoda on it, and it's green, and it's like 3 sizes too big for me, but I love this shirt. Hi, Tai. Making a regular appearance, huh? So yeah, I just got done recording a video for back to schoolness. It's supposed to be like to help kids who are new to, say, going to middle school, and mainly for going into high school, sort of the things you can do to help like prepare yourself, like classes and supplies and all that. And I got like six different ones in there. But so updatey doodles. Oh, I just had a train of thought. Where to go? Oh yeah, Priest. Hi, Priestley. Priest has been having some tooth problems for a few years now. And it finally got to the point where one of his teeth was loose. Like up here by the gum. It was actually a good 3/4 of his tooth was detached. And so he would be like pawing at it. And when this happened, I was sitting here. I was watching a video, and I glanced over because there was noise going outside, and whenever there's some form of noise, even when there's nothing happening outside, these guys start freaking out. So Connor had walked out, so had Priest, and Priest came back. He was behind my door, and he like pawed on his face like twice, and then he was going to walk out, turned around, came back, pawed his face a couple times, and then let out this really loud, just freaking screech of a yelp. And it startled the crap out of me. I just looked over, horrified at the noise my dog had just made. And he yelped again. And he got up and he was starting to walk towards the door, but then he like half turned back. And I was just watching him because this has happened once before where like a knot in his fur had got stuck on like his paw claw, and he yelped from that. And so I was like watching, because he would kind of have to curl a side of his body because of his claw being stuck on his fur. So I was watching. I was mainly, for a few seconds, just observing how he was acting and seeing if it, because I initially thought it was just he got his paw claw stuck in a knot of his fur again. And then again he let out this terrifying screech of yelp, and I'm just like, holy crap, what is wrong with my dog? So then I immediately just like dive to the floor to Priest, and I'm just, what's wrong? And he starts yelping, and I literally have no idea what it is, but he starts, like, eating. And so I, like, immediately think, because he's been known to do this, where I thought he had found a needle, like one of my dad's girlfriend's sewing needles, on the floor, and was eating on it like he normally does with anything he finds on the floor, and he got it stuck up in between the top of his, the inside of his mouth, and his like his gums, his tooth line. I thought it got caught up in there, and it was like poking him, and so it was hurting him. And so I start looking through his mouth, and I'm just like, where is it? Where is it? And then he continues to, like, and I'm like, well, don't swallow it, idiot! And I couldn't find anything. And then I was, like, kneeling down on the floor. I was, like, crisscrossed. And he just laid, it, like, pulled at my heart. Because he just, like, took his nose and just, in between, like, how my leg was bent at my knee, he just, like, dug his nose in there and just started, like, that high-pitched whining. That wasn't a yell, but he was just sitting there and just, like, froze, whining. And I'm just like, oh my god, what is wrong? And so my grandma was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and I don't know what's going on with the dog. So I immediately start calling grandma. I start, like, yelling at her. And like normal, she doesn't hear me. And right at that moment, my dad had just gotten home. So he, like, already backed up, and he was out of the car walking up the stairway. Or walking up. And, you know, my window is always open. So, and if I called out, you could hear from the little pathway up to the door, you could hear me call from my room with my window open. And so I start yelling as loud as I can at my dad. And he walks in, and I start yelling again. I'm like, Dad! And so I'm freaked out because my dog is, like, screeching for his life. Well, he was, and now he's just, like, whining of, like, immeasurable pain or something. And I'm just, like, I'm ready to, like, Hulk and bust down a door, because no one is hearing me, which I know is impossible with how loud I'm being right now. And so I now officially know that if crap was going down and I was, like, being murdered, and Dad had just gotten home and Grandma was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and I was screaming bloody murder, no one would come to my aid. I now realize how this is. Because I get up, I'm just like, finally, I'm done. I will drag someone in here if I have to look at my dog. And so I get up, I throw my door open, I, like, go halfway down the hall, and I just, like, light up my dad. I'm just like, are you deaf? Can you not hear me right now? And Priest just kind of starts coming out of the hall, and he screeches, and Dad's then getting PO'd at me for reacting this way. But then at the same time, it's like, come on, my dog is screeching, and I'm yelling really loud, and I know you can hear me, and you're acting like it's nothing. How else do you expect me to react? And so then Priest comes out, he yelps, and then Dad looks at him, and basically I spend the rest of the night holding a warm washcloth to his mouth, trying to keep him from messing at it, and we find out that the tooth is like that. And so they go and they take him to the vet, and they pull out some of his teeth, and now he's all sorts of happy laying on my floor now. No more yelping, so that's good. So that was an eventful evening, and apparently, okay, so the emergency veterinary clinic that I took normal to when she was having her problems, where I sadly had to euthanize her, that place is the only one that was open after hours. So like after 5 o'clock. And my dad calls them, because they're the only ones here in Salem that were open late enough that we could have possibly taken to him. They're an emergency veterinary clinic that are open after hours, and they don't do teeth. That is probably the stupidest thing I have ever heard. I was this close to punching my dad's computer monitor when I was on their website, because I was just like, what kind of stupid business decision is that? But yeah, that was that, and he's all much better now. He's much better now, aren't you, Bubba? Aren't you? So much better. So much better. I know this is a little bit longer, but I mean, I did miniature story time. Before I go, this is a thing. Me and my dad got bows. Yep, these are the Diamond Archery by Bowtech. So, the pink camo wasn't my idea, but it's no big deal, really. We got two because my dad's got a longer draw length and can pull back at a higher poundage. Draw length is when you're like your reach, because you pull back and then you let it go. And then poundage being like how much force is behind it. So, and for that, we also set up. Okay, it's gonna be really bright out here for a minute. Come on, Connor, Teddy, Connor, you gotta come out of my room. No tie. Come on. That's not size. This is nice and cool. So we got this little target. All of these ones here are pretty much my dad's. The ones here in the middle, like dead on, are mine. And yeah. And then we have hay over there. And we just shoot from back here, and yeah, it's fun. Last time we did this, I did a challenge with my dad. And on the side of this, there are two things. So this is the top one. The closest one that my dad hit was right here. On mine, these were the two closest. Let's just say, I was quite proud that since I was the one who posed the idea of a challenge, that I won. I was so proud of myself. Nothing is more ego-inducing than proposing a challenge and not only being the one that proposes the challenge, but then wins the challenge. I honestly assumed that since I proposed it and I was like, challenge, that Dad would get one lucky shot and just like hit dead center, and then I would have to secede to the victor, but nope. That's not what happened. So proud. This video has been a lot longer than I intended, but I hope you guys enjoyed story time. And yeah, you guys have a good time doing whatever it is you're doing, whenever it is you're doing it. I love the cold.